Morning, Wayne Lansing here at Historic Auto Attractions this morning. I am in the Gangster Room. We have on display the hats of Bonnie and Clyde that they wore the day they were ambushed outside of Gibsonland, Louisiana, by a posse of 6 Texas Rangers on May 23rd, 1934. The car got riddled by over 130 bullets, 50 plus of which hit them. If you examine these hats, you will see some bullet holes. Also found in the car was this flashlight and pistol, which got decommissioned beyond repair. Marie Barrow, Clyde's sister, had these items inside of a trunk for over 60 years. Historic Auto Attractions then acquired them. They came with a notarized letter of provenance. We also have this car that was used in the movie Bonnie and Clyde. It was a movie made in 1967 featuring Faye Dunaway, Warren Beatty, and this is the movie poster that came with it. Now the real car is in Primm, Arizona in Whiskey Pete's Museum, so I don't want it to get confused. This is the movie car, which is a neat display to have here. Clyde Barrow, as a young man, was not on the wrong side of the law. He actually tried to join the Navy. He could not get in for health reasons. Clyde's turn into the wrong side of the law happened when he went out and rented a car and failed to return it in a timely manner. Well, it got arrested over this deal. Well, it wasn't long after that, his brother Buck and him, now I don't know if you'll believe this, they stole a whole truck load of turkeys. Well, they got sent to prison for this deal. Well, Clyde ended up having to do some prison time, and he didn't go over real good with having to do hard labor. And he had a friend of his cut off his big toe. He did not realize it, but his mother was working real hard to get him released from prison. 6 days after he cut his toe off, he got paroled. Well, Clyde got himself pretty bitter with the law. He was in a restaurant one day and he run into this lady named Bonnie Parker. She worked as a waitress in this restaurant for over 2 years. Bonnie loved classy dressing. She loved the way movie stars dressed, and she was a very good poet. Well, it wasn't long and they run themselves out of cash. And the next thing you know, they went out and robbed themselves a grocery store, then a gas station, and they even robbed a funeral parlor. Then it wasn't long after that, they ended up finding themselves robbing a bank and another bank. Well, one day a police officer tried to interfere with this, and they shot and killed him. Now they're on the run. By the time all this here was done, after robbing bank after bank, they ended up shooting 12 civilians. They shot 9 police officers. Now they had wanted posters all over for them, and they were having hard times trying to find a place to live. With wanted posters around all the states surrounding Texas, Louisiana, and that, they were really having a hard time staying away from the law. They would have a cabin or so, and they'd be trying to stay nights. Well, people would see their wanted posters, they'd turn them in. Well, they always had a knack of getting away without getting killed. They had such a knack of getting away from the law. The Texas Rangers hired Frank Hammer. He was the head of one of the Texas Rangers, and he decided he set up a plan to set up an ambush. Him and 5 other people did so, and they gunned them down. 6 days before they got ambushed and shot, Bonnie wrote a poem, and it's quite neat to hear. Now this is the whole poem, but the last sentence of it says, "Someday they'll go down together. They'll bury them side by side. To few, it'll be grief. To the law, a relief. But it's death for Bonnie and Clyde." Now, Bonnie's mother absolutely despised Clyde for what he did for her daughter, who worked in the restaurant for 2 years, and she was a very good person at that time. They wanted to get buried side by side. You could read through the poet, but Bonnie's mother absolutely wouldn't go for it. They are buried in Dallas. Clyde is buried east of the Texas Book Depository where Oswald shot Kennedy. Now, another coincidence, Bonnie is buried just east of Love's Field where the Kennedys landed. So they're buried in the same town, but not side by side. 2 months after Bonnie and Clyde met their fate, pretty boy Floyd met his faith in Ohio, and John Dillinger by the Biograph Theater in Chicago, Illinois. And then Babyface Nelson in Barrington, Illinois. Now, Al Capone was in prison at this time. It was pretty well the end of an era of gangsters, which run from 1930 to 1934. Raymond Hamilton, he was another part earlier that was tied in with the Bonnie and Clyde Parker deal, but he left and went on his own, and he went on a murdering spree. He got caught, and he met Faith in 1935. He met old Sparky, that's the electric chair. Now back then, it was an eye for an eye. In 2023 here, we invite you to see our new expansion of Gangsterland.